The One Micronesia Podcast is brought to you by Docomo Pacific. Better together.
Hafide and Mogathin, and welcome to the One Micronesia Podcast. Now, this episode, man, I'm so excited because I get to sit down and go one-on-one with this brother who's out in the States right now. Here on the podcast with me, my guest for this week is the one, the only Guam singer-songwriter, Jason J. Ladies and gentlemen.
Fireworks. Oh.
So, I wanted, for so long, I wanted to, start getting, artists on here, and artists who have made an impact in Micronesia when it comes to Guam and Micronesia, when it comes to the music scene. I've talked to Hale, I talked to Josh, I talked to Shabi, and I always wanted, at one point, I was going to go and DM you and try to get you on the podcast, and it happened. And
anytime, bro. Anytime. You just DM, dude. Let me know. I'm down.
I want the people out there to actually get to know you as well. Who is Jason J, and talk about your music career. You've done so much. You started here on Guam and then went to the States and did so much in the States as well. And at the same time repping Guam in the region. So I think that's huge, and I think people should know that. So I think that's one of the reasons why I wanted to get you on here.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, shoot him. Shoot them over. Shoot the questions over.
All right, so let's go. Let's start. Every time I do the podcast, I start by getting to know the interview, and like I said, people get to know you. So tell me more about you. Who is Jason J?
I am an independent artist. I'm also a father of two beautiful kids. I'm a lover. So I'm completely independent. I do everything myself. I'm also a graphic designer, digital illustrator, and I'm very good at cooking breakfast burritos.
Yeah.
I got like a little secret. I don't know, man.
What?
I got a little banger on the recipe. I got something different, I think. Just from all the years of mastery.
That's nice. And then, for those who don't know, you were born and raised here.
Yeah.
You're from the Philippines, but you were born and raised here. You told me that story right when we started about, how your parents moved here. You're second generation here in Guam. So tell us more about that.
So I'm second generation raised on Guam, second generation Filipino raised on Guam. Guam is like the only home I ever really known. I go to vacations back to the Philippines a lot of times, but it's always been just quick summer in and outs, so I've really grown a connection with the people of Guam, and even just like starting off my music career when nobody believed in me, and I just had the Guam people that showed me love. Even to this day, a lot of my support groups and support my fan base is Guam, so I'm just grateful for that and grateful to be part of the music scene, ever evolving music scene on the island. Yeah.
How did it all start for you? Like, people say it started at church. It was just a ukulele. Like, what was your thing?
Mine was high school. So I went to Notre Dame High School in Talafofo. It happened back in 2004, I would say. I started writing original music. I probably picked up guitar in freshman year, which would be 2003. And I'm sorry, 2002. And I was like everybody else, learning covers that, your homies teach you. Just like, what does that shape look like? Trying to memorize that. And then my writing started all in my sophomore year of high school. I had a teacher at ND, and she had, we had a poetry section for English. And just right around that time, I just started to like explore writing. And then the fact that we had this poetry class, I was like, hey man, what if I can just write a song instead of like recite a poem I wrote at home, I kind of, it's weird because I always had like this stage fright of just talking. Even like when it came to like everyone was going down the line, you can, the teacher would be like, oh, present your poem. And like, I would literally, my palms would be sweating in class. And my mind is just racing like 1,000 miles per hour, trying to figure out like, what am I gonna do? Or how, like all these, like so many self-doubt questions would pop up. So to avoid that situation, I started writing songs, and then it became so much easier just to like sing something and play, and just took off all the pressure. And then I was doing that with Tim Balahadjo, who was also my classmate in high school. And we were like in this healthy, like, I wrote a song yesterday. Oh, I'm gonna write a song today too. So it's like we would have this back and forth, like healthy, friendly competition. And just pushing each other to write a new song. So it's all started from there. And like those, instead of performing when the poetry section of class was over, we actually kept it going with like, we would have lunchtime jam sessions in the classroom. We'll ask the teacher, like, hey, can we use the classroom and just have like some of the friends come in and we'll record like a video. Like it was one of my friends, John Mabayag, he would like record it on one of his cameras, and then he learned to strip the audio. We were so young. Yeah, he learned to strip the audio from the video, and then we would put those on CDs.
Wow.
But we had to like make sure like the room was super quiet. There was no creaking in the chairs, and this is all inside the classroom. So like you can imagine, right outside the window, there's like people like like running, like, like eating lunch and like yelling and playing ball and all that stuff. So yeah, from then on, I just realized early on, like, hey, I think music is what I'm here for. I pretty much my junior and senior year, basketball was like one of my most favorite things ever, and I had dreams to be a pro basketball player, and then I kind of like I didn't want to go through with basketball season in 05 and 06, my last 2 years of high school, and I just decided like, hey man, I want to write. People are like, you're crazy, you're like the center of the team, and I was like, but I don't know, music is kind of pulling me in that direction. I'm kind of glad I took it, because a few years ago, like maybe like when I first got out here, I went to go play basketball at a gym, and like these guys were dunking, dude. These high school kids were dunking, bro. And I'm like jumping, and I was a big boy already. I wasn't like high school weight, Then I realized, yeah, it's probably a better move that I picked the guitar up, and so no regrets, man, no regrets.
There you go, guys. That's how it all started for him. So we're gonna take a break right now. But when we come back, we're gonna get to that music career, find out what was Jason J's first ever song, what was his first gig like, stuff like that. That is on the way. You're watching the One Micronesia Podcast, being brought to you by Docomo Pacific. Better together.
It only gets better with more. Customize and save with the fastest internet speeds in the Marianas by adding mobile, phone, and TV to your bundle with Business Bundles Plus. Docomo Pacific Business. Work better together.
For the different beats of your life, we're here to keep you connected the way you want it. Plans made for you, by you. Build your own bundle with Link. Select the internet, entertainment, mobile, and home phone plans that fit your lifestyle. Pay for what you want, not for what you don't. Build your own bundle and save with Link.
Hafide, Mogasin, and we're back. It's the One Micronesia Podcast, being brought to you by Docomo Pacific. Better together. All right, so let's get to it. So we talked about a little bit about him, where he grew up, his family, and him growing up here in Guam, and how he slowly got into the music scene and found a love for music. And now we're gonna talk about it, Jason J and his music career, because it's huge. We're here to learn about how it all started for him. First gig, first song. So let's start there. First song. I'll start with first song.
First song, as far as first song written or first song put out?
First song put out.
Okay, yeah, because there's probably like 6 songs before that were like that no one ever heard about. So yeah, the first song I put out was, I believe it was "Forever" with my little sister. Classic tune, you know what I mean? I don't play that one live as much as I should be. Yeah, "Forever" was his first song, and then "Juices" was the follow up after that. Yeah.
So let's talk about Juices. And I think that was like your really big hit.
To like PG-13, it's kind of like it's the is the juice worth the squeeze, right? In life and love, right? So it's like I kind of played off of that situation. Yeah, so it was just like like hold me, never let me go, scold. Like it's like the throws back and forth of like a relationship, right? The good things and the bad things. And basically, I mean, that's what a lot of my theme is. It's a lot of love-based songs, even up to today. It's just one thing that I just gravitate to every single time.
Wow. And then, on the radio, and then there you go. Juices, forever in Juices. It's just, I think, people, if somebody had to, ask somebody like, hey, do you know Jason J? Like, oh, Juices. Like, yeah. Oh yeah. Juices, Jason J. Yeah.
Bro, it's so funny because that song, that recording in particular, I remember those days, like when I first stepped into like a recording booth of some sort, and just hearing yourself back like on the microphone was such an awkward feeling, dude. It was so strange to hear yourself, and then like trying to like record to a click metronome. It's like I was just so I was just so green to the recording process. So like that version of Juices, that the first ever was recorded, and like I just laid the guitar and the vocals, and then I took like one take of the vocals, and the guy I was working with, he's like, oh, we'll meet up again sometime soon. And I was like so young and dumb, and I just dropped that burnt CD over to Chris over at the station one day when he was outside. I remember just like pulling up, and I was like, hey bro, here's a CD. I'm not really anybody that so I'm just like young kid, so I dropped it off. But like that song was like in the first demo, bro. There was supposed to be like a bass line, drums, but like it's weird because the blessing of that is like that kind of carved my singer-songwriter solo artist situation, right? Of course, at first I was like, oh, I'm gonna put it on the radio, and then I got some friends who were like, I wasn't even done yet, I was like, well, it's kind of too late. It's kind of already on the air. So that's the funny thing about that song. But yeah, it wasn't done yet. It was a demo, and I just dropped it on the radio.
Bro, demo or not, people are probably learning right now. They're like, what? It was just a demo. But honestly, I think what made it, for me, what made Juices really amazing for me is as the simplicity in the song. You say like a bass line and just a guitar, and then then vocals on top of it. And I think that's when you talk about original music and something that's so simple yet catchy, that Juices is one of the best examples. I tell people like, yeah, listen to Juices. Like, we overthink when it comes to music. We tend to overthink and add way too much things on it, and really kills the whole point, which is the lyric to tell the story. And
the very essence of the song, it's crucial. It's easy. It's and like it's weird because like nowadays with my recording process, it's easy to like feel like I'm overcrossing that, but it's like, I mean, for me, it's like now it's like just dressing it up with everything else in my imagination and that I could think of, that it's everything must point to like, is it supporting the song or is it taking away from the message? And yeah, but definitely every now and then I still break it down, just me and the guitar. So it's crucial. Just the very essence, like just if it's just vocals and guitar or vocals and a single instrument, and you can capture the vibe that way, then you already know you're on the right path, and then you can add all the bells and whistles after that.
So let's talk about it. The first gig on Guam. You're a kid, Juices on the radio, and then did somebody pick you up right after? Like, what was your first gig?
I've never been, to clear it out, I've never been picked up. Like I just been like trying to find a way to do it. First gig, I played a few, like my first ones, I don't know if you call those gigs, but they were like family functions where everyone was like kind of like, what is this guy playing? Can't really like. I remember playing a gig with a drummer and another guitar player, and we were playing like some rock stuff. It was kind of like heavier, which I still didn't know what I was doing, but I thought it was cool. But first real gig, I feel like one where I was like, okay, it wasn't just at a bar. It was Ocean down in Mauricio Pier.
Wow.
Yeah, it was way bigger than I had. Like, I got there and I was like having like panic attack, I was like, bro, I didn't think it was going to be like this. This is a full on concert, Yeah, I forgot what year that was, but that was like one of the dopest shows I played early on in my career. I wish I could tell you what year that was. It all kind of blurs.
That's crazy. So, man, you've done Guam and Juices, and now you said you're your first gig, and I'm pretty sure there were more after that. Mm-hmm. And then let's talk about the move, because I think this was to me, it's also a very inspiring thing to see an artist just up. And I think for you, there was more reason for you to move. There was more reason behind the move with your daughter. But I think also what's very inspiring for me to see is an artist to just up and leave and leave the island to one take care of the family, and at the same time to pursue your music career, which not a lot of people do, because it's like when you're out there, it's different from here because the pressure now is real. It's different in the music scene there. So let's talk about the move and how you transitioned and how was the transition.
Yeah, so basically, in high school, all my summers, I had worked on a container ship under Cabris Marine. My dad is a harbor pilot back home, still is to this day. Captain Egger, what's up, Pa? I love you. Yeah, so he had put me to work every summer of high school, so that the goal was to go to California Maritime Academy and then come back home with some kind of degree and to kind of relieve his position and be a harbor pilot back home, right? Which is an awesome career path. It's really good money, but literally after high school, I got accepted to California Maritime Academy, and every year they only take one person from Guam. But I had 4 summers of like experience on a container ship, so I was able to I was like a few. Not much credits from actual getting my official C card on for the California Maritime Academy. So like the fact that I had all the experience, I got accepted, and man, the moment I got accepted, I think it was like the same week I had gotten my songs on the radio.
Wow.
Yeah. So then there's like this weird shift where like that feeling of having to like leave home for school. And then I just had gotten my songs on the radio and I started getting all this feedback. And knowing that music was what I wanted to do, like I had to have the hard talk with my mom and dad, like, I think I want to stay, And at first they wouldn't let me, but as hard-headed as I am, I kind of went through that. Stayed on Guam for a few years, gigging, just getting all my experience in the bars scene back home, playing with like Dinaj and those guys, and like just getting all, it's like the early start, getting the early start stuff out of the way. And then I literally felt like I'd reached like a ceiling, where I remember this one gig where I was playing and I was like, none of my friends would come to my gigs anymore because they kind of saw me enough. And I was just like, man, like, what's the point? Like, I'm just playing for like a lot of random people. And sometimes like people not even listening, so I kind of wanted something more, and I just felt frustrated with myself, writing wise, creativity wise. Felt like I needed a new change. And then I also felt like, hey, it's been like 4 years since high school, and I felt like I was just messing around and not really taking anything serious. And I was always thinking like, hey, I could have been in Maritime Academy already, maybe just possibly finishing up almost, so I decided to make like a drastic change, and I was like, hey, I'm going to go. I remember I was on the internet, and I saw an advertisement for a music school in Hollywood. And I was like, oh, this is cool. I looked at their programs, and they have like guitar program. It's called Musicians Institute in Hollywood. And I had looked on their website, and they had like a section for guitar players. Like it's strictly a guitar course where you learn the instrument in and out. And there's like drums, bass, singing. But I saw this little section on the tab where it's independent artists. And I was like, hey man, maybe that's something I might want to do, right? I looked at it, read it, and it looked great. It's like everything. It's a course where it's everything you need to be an independent artist, whether your classes all range from like songwriting to recording to design to creative writing, just to make you well-rounded, right? So I was like, man, that actually sounds like a good idea if I were to go out to the States, take that course, and that'll give me kind of like a head start boost instead of coming out to California and wasting time trying to figure out what to do and just, diddling my fingers in the couch, like trying to figure out situation. But yeah, so I took that. But the thing that made me really solidify that decision was I was on the webpage. I saw the first video on their website, which was this guy, and I clicked it, and he's a guitar player. I clicked it, and he goes, blah, blah. I'm from Guam. I'm here taking the guitar program. And I was like, whoa. Right. So it's like, this guy's from Guam. I'm going to go too. Right. So I decided to just pack up, and then like, it's just that feeling of like walking to the edge of the cliff, and the only way I'm going to soar is if I jump off. Right. Like I literally had all this comfort from back home of like my songs being on the radio, but I just needed something different. And like for me, the idea of being on Guam and coming out to tour was just at that time was not a realistic viewpoint. I mean, the older guys, all the bands ahead of me have done it, but I felt like where I was at mentally and my maturity level, I feel like I wasn't anywhere close to that point. So I decided to take that plunge and do it. And so I came out to California from then on. So I'm sorry. So I actually finished school in California. I came back home for the birth of my daughter, and then we had some birthing complications, and then she needed like full-time hospital care. So we decided to move back out to California.
Wow. And bro, like you said, like I think the experiences have definitely helped and shaped who you are. As like you said, now you've actually found a part in your career. Now you're calling yourself. You've said, okay, independent artist is where I want to be, and you're definitely working towards it, man. Like Luminosity is a huge hit, back here, back in Guam. So we're waiting for the next and we're going to talk about what's next for Jason J. Guys, we're going to take a break and we'll be back with more of the One Micronesia podcast and be brought to you by Docomo Pacific. Better together.
It only gets better with more. Customize and save with the fastest internet speeds in the Marianas by adding mobile, phone, and TV to your bundle with Business Bundles Plus. Docomo Pacific Business. Work better together.
For the different beats of your life, we're here to keep you connected the way you want it. Plans made for you, by you. Build your own bundle with Link. Select the internet, entertainment, mobile, and home phone plans that fit your lifestyle. Pay for what you want, not for what you don't. Build your own bundle and save with Link.
Hafide, Mogathine, and we are back. It's the One Micronesia podcast. We're brought to you by Docomo Pacific. Better together. So let's get to it. We talked about his big music career, how it all started. The move. I think the move was the main key into changing, Guam Jason J to worldwide Jason J. I think that was the big move, and he did it. It took a while. It took a lot of thinking and a lot of sweat and tears. But hey, he at the end of the day, he made it through, and he's doing such an amazing job with his music career. So let's talk about what's next for Jason J. What is next?
Okay, so I've been, since this whole COVID situation, I've been working on a full-length album. My first full length. Yeah. So I'm aiming right now. It's looking like 12 songs. I'm currently 10, maybe 11 songs deep. We've been kind of building all these songs up at the same time. So like when I say 10 or 11 songs, like I have some of them are like 3/4 of the way written, so I still have some little gaps I got to tie up. This one is like my biggest project. I just remember right before COVID hit, like just looking in my mind, I was looking at this giant mountain of like an album to like climb over, and now I just feel like we're almost at the peak, and I just feel it's a weird thing because like this pandemic has taught me to just like slow down and focus, because prior to that I had just come back from Vibes Fest. Also doing 40 show tour right before that, then straight to Vibe Fest. Yeah, so it was like about 40 shows, I believe.
So let's talk about this. So not to give so much away from, because we want people to be hungry, because people are hungry. People want, after Luminosity, people have this idea of who you are as an independent artist, what your music taste is like. So not to give so much away, but can you talk more about this album? Like, what can people expect?
I don't know. I feel like I've just been, as far as I don't know. I feel like I don't want to put a title or put it in a category. I feel like it's definitely, you'll hear me challenging myself in this album compared to my other released works. I personally feel like it's the best stuff I've done so far. And I feel like you can definitely hear the progression and the progression in my singing and the musical composition. And I feel like it's gonna be a banger.
Hey,
I feel like it's gonna go, bro.
All right. Well, there you have it, guys. What's next for Jason J? That's what's next. Guys, we're going to take a break and we'll be back with more of the One Micronesia Podcast.
Yeah.
It only gets better with more. Customize and save with the fastest internet speeds in the Marianas by adding mobile, phone, and TV to your bundle with Business Bundles Plus. Docomo Pacific Business. Work better together.
For the different beats of your life, we're here to keep you connected the way you want it. Plans made for you, by you. Build your own bundle with Link. Select the internet, entertainment, mobile, and home phone plans that fit your lifestyle. Pay for what you want, not for what you don't. Build your own bundle and save with Link.
Hafide, Mogatine, and we are back. It's the One Micronesia Podcast, and we're still sitting here with the one, the only Guam singer-songwriter, independent singer-songwriter, Jason J, ladies and gentlemen. So we're here for the last part, the sad part. I hate this part because this is where we kind of like, okay, your message, and then social media, and then bye. Because bro, this guy, like I said, I follow his journey. We know each other, and it's just such an awesome. It's been an awesome interview. I've learned a lot, and I've been inspired of hearing his story. So, brother, a message to your fans. Here on Guam, where it all started for you, and also the region that that you represent. A message.
Yeah, simply thank you for the support. I'm so far away from home, but it's like all the love that's shown. It's so easy to continue doing what I'm doing because of people like from back home, even the people out here, of course, don't get me wrong, but like the base of it is the Guam culture and Guam people, so I feel like I'm just grateful to have that. And it's like at the end of the day, it's like if I can inspire any of the local artists or even people who want to be artists but can't, it makes it so much easier to continue. And just so much years invested in this, and I never see myself quitting or putting down the guitar, so this is a lifelong journey, and I got a lot to say. So yeah, but thank you for all your support over the years and the continued support. And I am just here to do the best I can while I'm alive, and leave music for after my life ends. For my generation, my kids to hear, and for all you guys to hear. And thank you to my family as well for always supporting my friends and family back home. It means a lot.
All right, Jason J, ladies and gentlemen, before we let you go, bro, where can people follow you and your music career and journey?
Yes, so Instagram, jasonj.music, Facebook, jasonj.music. My music's on Spotify. It's on Apple Music, all the streaming services. And I will have a release coming up probably in another month or so. My first single for the album, a little single to give to the people.
Wow.
Give me more time to finish the rest of the album.
Yeah. Wow, guys, go follow him. This is the brother. This is him, guys. This is Jason J, Guam independent singer-songwriter who's doing such a great job and amazing work out in the States, and to represent, he's taking the Guam flag and the Micronesian region with him wherever he goes with his music. So, guys, this is him, Jason J. Go follow his music, because that's how we support local, and that's what we're all about here at the stations of KUAM, supporting local. So, bro, thank you so much. It's been an awesome talk. And, I hope I can't wait for that album. And I know you're going to put more amazing stuff out there for the days to come. So I'm really excited to see where we go next.
Thank you, brother. Thanks for having me, man. This was fun.
Anytime, bro. Jason J, ladies and gentlemen, that pretty much wraps up another episode of the One Micronesia Podcast, being brought to you by Docomo Pacific. My name is Victorious, and I just got to say peace.
Peace.
The One Micronesia Podcast is brought to you by Docomo Pacific. Better together.